In this video, we will going to discuss about the 7 layers of the OSI model. The main idea with the computer network is communication between different systems. The purpose of communication can be information sharing. Suppose we have two systems, for example like system A and system B, which wants to communicate with each other. Let us say this. Two systems are connected to each other through a computer network. The distance between A and B may only be few meters, or they might be across different continents. If A wants to send some data to B, then the data has to travel through the network to reach B. During this transfer, the data will have to navigate many intermediate nodes. To ensure that the data reaches from source machine A to destination machine B, surely and currently, we need to have some rules which guides the communicate between A and B. These rules are called protocols. This is our OSI model looks like. At the first glance, you might feel this is complicated and hard to remember, but all to that thought, the OSI model is very easy to remember. All you have to do is to remember the 7 layers. In our previous example, we said that system A wants to communicate with system B over the network. Another good example is how the post office works. You can see through how the post office works. When you write your letter and you need a post office stamp, and then another you need a good address to send to the right location to the person you want to send it to. So we will gonna go through and look further on how the post office works. It is very similar to our 7 layers of OSI model. Now let us see what each of these layers do. The first layer is our application layer. This is the layer at which the users communicate with the system. This layer provides some protocols using which applications can communicate with each other. The example of application layer protocol is FTP protocols. Another good example is when a person writes a letter and you want to send it to the post office, you have to interact with the post office officer. Our next layer is presentation layer. The presentation is the second layer. This layer is concerned with the format of data exchange between the end systems. For example, 32 bits long and the system is 64 bits long, then the appropriate conversions have to be done. This is done by presentation layer. As you can see, the person A want to send his letter and he will gonna bring his letter to the post office officer, and the post office officer will gonna take the letter and weigh it. Then it will gonna give out the right figure how his letter weighed. Our third layer is session layer. The session layer uses on different machines to create sessions between. If application creates different transport streams, the session layers can bind all the different streams belongs to same applications. For example, if you are doing video chat, then the session layer combines the audio streams with the video streams. And to see in the post office, you will see a person, the post office officer will gonna take the letters and arrange them into the order and combine them and keep them in order that where the location those letters will gonna go. Our number 4 layer is transport layer. The transport layer receives the layer from session layer and divides it into a smaller units called as messages. These messages are passed on to network layers. On the receiving end, it makes sure these messages are accepted and arranged into correct order. The messages marked and packed on upper layers. For example, in a post office, you will gonna see the post office officer will gonna collect all these letters and arrange them and pack them in a right package where the receiver will gonna take it. The number 5 layer is network layer. Network layer breaks the message into packets and transmitted them across the network. It is the responsibility for network layer to make sure their packets reach the correct destination. This feature is called routing. This is implemented on every node in the network. As you can see in the post office, the post office officers will gonna take the letters and located them into the right place, and they will gonna transport them into the destination where the receiver will gonna receive correctly, so that it will not gonna go and lose. The number 6 layer is data link layer. Is concerned with the transmissions of error-free data. It breaks the packets into smaller units called as frames. These frames are passed on the physical layer for transmission. On the receiving end, it collects the raw bytes from physical layer and aggregate into frames. The data encoding and framing, error detections and correction techniques are applied here. In this data link layer, it's compared to the post office. The post office officers will gonna collect all the letters and arrange them and correct, and they will gonna keep into the right locations and correct them, so that those letters must be not missed or lost in somewhere, so that they make sure that they must be in the right place, so that the receiver will gonna receive it, so they check it well. Final and the last layer is the physical layer, which is concerned with the transmission of raw bytes over the communication links. As we have said already, a lot of processes which a post office normally works when you present your letter to the post office officer. So this is the final process, where it packed all the things and transported to the location where your receiver is. So this is the final process where the post office works. So to recap all these processes, to summarize it, our 7 layers. The application layer is where the user interact with the application to provide data. Presentation layer is concerned with the format of data exchange between the end systems. The session layer allows users on different machines to create sessions between them. The transport layer is concerned with end-to-end communications of messages. And our networking layer is concerned with the routing of packets to create destinations. Data link layer is concerned with the transmissions of error-free data into forms of frames, and physical layer is concerned about the transmissions of raw bytes over the communication links. Thank you very much. Hope you understand all these processes of 7 layers and the post office, which connected towards our presentations of 7 layers of OSI models. Thank you very much. Bye bye.